I welcome you to this lesson. I'm Teacher Katimbo Richard, teaching mathematics, primary 6. In the previous lesson, I introduced integers as a topic, and now I'm continuing with the same integers, this time around with adding them, subtracting them, and multiplying them without using a number line, because in the lesson before this one we used a number line to do add and subtract. Then later we shall use a number line to multiply the said integers, and when you watch this lesson successfully you'll be able to answer the activities from page 94 to 97 of our workbook, term 3, P.6. And now we start with what I've taught you before. Now you must note these changes in the integers. That is, a negative times a negative, you get a positive. Say negative times a negative is equal to a positive, then a positive times a positive, you get a positive, and negative times a positive, you get a negative. Then last but not least, a positive times a negative, you get a negative. Now, another thing to note about these changes is that when I've got the same signs multiplied or even divided, you get a positive. And when you get different signs multiplied or divided, you get a negative. Don't you see a negative and negative? So same signs produce a positive, same signs produce a positive, different signs produce a negative, different signs multiplied or even divided, you get a negative. That is what you must note. Now we start the first example. Says work out without using a number line. The first one is the subtraction here. That is positive 4 minus positive 2. Positive 4 minus positive 2. Now you must ensure to put one sign in the middle here, in between, that is the two numbers, in order to do add or subtract integers. Now we've got a minus and a positive here. So a minus will be taken like negative, much as is an operation. So we put this sign inside in brackets. So put this integer positive 2 in brackets, and then you open the brackets, of course, as usual, through multiplication, where you say a negative times a positive. Since there are two different signs, they bring a negative. So in between here we shall have only one minus, which is given rise to by this multiplication. A negative times a positive, you get a negative, so I've got positive 4 minus 2. It's the same as 4 minus 2, which is equal to 2. And any integer without a sign is a positive. So by saying 2, I mean positive 2. So the answer is positive 2 and nothing else. As we go to part B, negative 7 plus positive 2. Still put positive 2 in brackets and say a positive and the positive, they are the same signs, they produce a positive. So I've got negative 7 plus 2. Negative 7 plus 2. You must note that negative 7 plus 2 is the same as 2 minus 7. So 2 take away 7. If 2 is less than 7 and 7 is to be taken away from 2, then we shall get a negative result. So you must know 7 minus 2 to know 2 minus 7. 7 minus 2 is a 5, that's a positive. Therefore, the opposite is true. What's the opposite of positive 5? Negative 5. So 2 minus 7 is negative 5, and that is all you have answered the question properly. So here, part C, work out without use of a number line. 7 minus negative 3. So this negative 3, as I said, is put in brackets to eliminate these two sides in between to have one side. So a negative with a negative get a positive. So now I've got 7 plus 3, which is a 10. Which is 10 doesn't have any sign, therefore it's a positive one. So the answer is positive 10. And so doing, you have answered those 3 questions. As we look at the 4th question here, without using a number line, work out negative 8 minus positive 8. So put this positive 8 in brackets here, and then open the brackets through multiplication of a negative and a positive. 2 different signs produce a negative. So I've got negative 8 minus 8. Negative 8 minus 8. You must note that these are like both are negatives. So it is a take away, or a negative 8 take away 8. So when you subtract from a negative, the negatives become many. The negatives become many, they accumulate. So they like do add. So subtraction of a negative, so the subtraction of an integer is like addition of that integer from a negative. So there you go. Negative 8 minus 8, you get negative 16. So it's like negative 8 and another negative 8. Together they make a total of negative 16. So that is the answer to that question. And then go part E. Work out positive 4 plus negative 5 without using a number line. Put negative 5 in brackets and say positive and negative get a negative. That is 4 minus 5. Positive 4 minus 5 is the same as 4 minus 5, which is a negative 1 because 4 is less. We know 5 minus 4 as a positive 1, then the opposite 4 minus 5 is a negative 1. That is how we add and subtract integers without use of a number line. And now we go to part F, this time F and D. Together with H up to I. It's multiplication of integers without using a number line. Let us then do multiply them without use of a number line. Work out negative 4 times positive 2 without use of a number line. So we use the same integer rule. We've got a negative and a positive, which is equal to negative. So the answer is going to be a negative. And then we know 4 alone times 2, you get 8. So these results are combined together here to get the answer. So we said a negative times a positive get a negative, and 4 times 2 is an 8. So the answer is negative 8. So the answer is negative 8. So we say therefore negative 4 times positive 2 is negative 8, and that is the answer, negative 8, as you see. So the rest are done the same way. Multiply the integers, so they multiply the signs first, then the numbers. So work out positive 2 times positive 5 without using a number line. So I've got 2 positives, and same signs produce a positive, so you say positive and the positive is got positive. Then 2 times 5 is 10. So therefore, positive 2 times positive 5 equals positive 10. And that is it about it. So we go to part H. Work out positive 6 times negative 3. Without use of a number line, signs first. Positive times a negative, get a negative. Then 6 times 3, get 18. And therefore, positive 6 times negative 3 equals negative 18. As easy as that. You must know the sign changes and the accuracy of the tables works here. Then finally work out negative 3 times negative 4 without use of a number line. Multiply the signs, negative and negative. You say negative to negative get a positive, and 3 times 4 is just a 12. So therefore negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. It's just that and nothing else. That is what you do without use of a number line. And now let's see how one can multiply integers, this time using a number line. And now saying use a number line to work out. Part A, positive 2 times positive 4. Here we first state the meaning, so that positive 2 times positive 4 means 2 jumps of 4 each. 2 jumps of 4 each. 2 jumps of positive 4 each. Okay, now draw a number line. Since we are going positive direction, the positives must be many. Include some negatives, like include 1 negative here. That's negative 1, 0, positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4, positive 5, positive 6, positive 7, positive 8. So we want only 2 jumps of 4 each. Each is of 4. So we jump from the origin. That's 0, then we count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump to the positive direction and say this is the first jump of 4. Then we go on the second jump of 4. Remember, in multiplication, unlike addition and subtraction, that is on the number line, we just jump. We don't go straight arrows, we jump. And now another jump of 4. The first jump of 4 started from 0 all the way to positive 4. Then the next jump of 4 is counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump up to positive 8. And that is another jump of 4. So we have jumped 4 twice. That's 2 times 4. So that is twice 4. And we stopped at positive 8. Put it in this kind of box to identify it as an answer instead of 4. When I made 2 jumps of 4 each, I reached 8. So therefore, positive 2 times positive 4 equals positive 8. And that way, you have shown the multiplication statement on a number line. As we go to part B, work out positive 4 times negative 2 on a number line. Remember the first example, both were positives. Here, one is a positive and another one is a negative. So you say, state the meaning that positive 4 times negative 2 means 4 jumps of negative 2 each. 4 jumps of negative 2 each. Okay, each will be baptized negative 2, but 4 times. Okay, now negatives are so much needed. Include some positives, like I include positive 1. So that's a number line having the inclusion of positives and negatives. Then 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, and start making 4 jumps of negative 2 each. So start from 0 and make a negative 2 jump. So a backward jump. So then we start 1, 2. That is a negative 2 jump. Show the arrow, or show the arrow of movement, a negative 2 arrow. Then count 1, negative 1, negative 2. That is a negative 2 jump. Show the arrow of movement, negative 2, negative 1, negative 2. Jump backwards as we jump, negative 1, negative 2. Jump. So this is 4 jumps. First, second, third, fourth jump of negative 2. So we've got each negative 2 and there are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the fourth, that marks or makes the answer, you put it in a particular box and say therefore positive 4 times negative 2 is equal to negative 8. And that is how we show multiplication of integers on a number line, and you will then be able to answer all those activities from page 94 all the way to page 97 of our workbook. Teacher Katimbo Richard that has taught you that and all along have been the one right from term 1. For more information about what I've taught so far, please do reach me on these 2 numbers, 0776 251655. You can use the Airtel line as well, 07572330666. Otherwise, that is the end of this lesson. Stay safe.